Hello, it's me. Different competitive players have their favorite Pokemon. Some of them are fan favorites, like Garchomp. However, others would definitely be hate crimed if they were real. And like any competitive player, I have some Pokemon who I would definitely curb stomp or punt across a football field if I had the chance. So here are some of them. Number 1, Jirachi. Specifically Jirachi in Gen 4OU. I know power creep is annoying since it makes our beloved Pokemon unviable in current gens, but I'm so happy that low-key, power creep has made Jirachi irrelevant in Gen 9OU. However, I don't play Gen 9OU, and I am the fan of the older gens, where Jirachi is very much relevant. And I hate the combo of Thunder Wave, Iron Head / Body Slam Jirachi. Now, if we're going to do the math, if Jirachi used Thunder Wave on your Empoleon, let's say, and then use Iron Head on that same Empoleon, your Pokemon only has a 30% chance of actually moving. I'm not sure I did the math right, but let's just say that I did. I'm not a huge fan of bans, but like listen, if there is a sleep clause, right? And after playing Gen 4OU, I'm starting to think there should be a paralysis clause as well, because 6 of my Pokemon are paralyzed, and it's the fault of 1 Pokemon. It also doesn't help that he's the best Pokemon in DPPOU, and probably the best switch-in to my beloved Latias, who can do absolutely no wrong, and just dragons in general. The amount of times I was going to win and send out my Flygon to finish off using Outrage, and then Jirachi comes in and uses Ice Punch, I can't. There's a special place in hell for it. Next is Goldengo. I want to know which employee at Game Freak was responsible for this type combo, and the ability. With this ability, Goldengo is walking around immune to everything, so everything I'm throwing at him is useless. And then again, it would be one thing if it was just his typing, but it's the ability. And then when you throw Terra into the mix, far too many variables for this man. It's so embarrassing to have your biggest op be a metallic stick of string cheese, like a knockoff Silver Surfer. All I keep thinking when I see of the current Gen 9 Pokemon is imagine showing Goldengo to a Gen 4OU player and telling him that this thing is ranked OU. He'd have a heart attack, because at that time, they still think that Kyogre is peak in power. Next is King Gambit. There's honestly really nothing like thinking you're going to win a game because you've played everything perfectly. You've used your Terra correctly, your predicts were on point, and then you just get suckered punched into oblivion with this beetle-looking thing. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I started playing competitive Pokemon when I was 12, but I took a break from it and I didn't play for a very long time. Gen 9 is actually the generation that I've started to play again, and it's a lot of fun. However, when I first started to play, I was incredibly rusty, and I just wasn't familiar with the concept of Terra. So I did not know how to get past King Gambit, and I had Terra fighting on 3 of my Pokemon because I could not beat this thing, which is really embarrassing now. And obviously now I know how to deal with it better. But it doesn't mean I have to like him, I still hate him. There's a reason that they banned this thing in National Dex, that's all that I'm saying. Anyways, Clefable. I don't think I've ever felt such visceral hatred towards anything more than I do towards Clefable. If I'm playing Gen 4OU and Clefable comes on the field, immediately I'm killing myself. And I'm taking her out with me. That's how I react when Clefable comes on the field. It's the fact that she's completely unpredictable. Every time I'm thinking, oh, she's definitely running this set, wrong, she's running another. And it only got worse after she got that fairy typing added, because now I can't close combat her to death, and Iron Head just doesn't do it. She's not super relevant in current generations, but I've been dabbling in the older ones like I said. It's even worse when you assume you're dealing with the Magikarp Clefable the whole time, so you never bother to toxic her. But then you set up to attack and realize that it's actually an unaware version of Clefable the whole time. Because see, now it's not just that you're losing, it's that you got tricked, so now you're just embarrassed. Next is Chansey and Blissey. I have a very complicated relationship with Blissey. On one hand, I've used her on like 30% of my teams, and in my channel description, I specifically say that I really like her. And yeah, she is one of my favorite Pokemon, that's true. I love Blissey. However, I only love her when I'm using her. That's the only time I can tolerate her. It's only okay when I use her. When anybody else uses her, she sucks and I hate her. It's also easier when she has special investment because basically any physical hit KOs her. But if it's a physical defensive variant, we're going to beat her all day. I know because I'm very much guilty of just spamming with a physically defensive variant of Blissey. I know that I'm literally the most culpable person of spamming these 2 pink blobs, but just put a pin in that, you don't even have to worry about it.